you guys can let us know in the chat if things are continuing to sound a little weird. But yeah, you sound fine now, Jess.
Okay, that's good. I was getting a bit worried then that you wouldn't be able to hear my dulcet English tones. But if there's any feedback or anything that anyone wants to point out in the chat, please let us know just so we can make any changes. We've still got a minute or so until the webinar technically starts, so we'll wait until we've got a few more attendees to join us, because we know that sometimes people like to join a couple of minutes. A few minutes after 3, not a problem. But yeah, I always like to say, Bobby, yeah, it's always great to hear where people are from as well. So like Bobby's mentioned, he's in New York, I'm in the UK. If we've got any people from anywhere else in the world, please let us know. We love to know how global the audience is today. Yeah. Especially if I was going to say, especially if we've got anyone from like Sydney or Asia, but it is getting a little bit late there, so they might be asleep.
Yeah.
But everyone can make me jealous of where they're from that probably isn't raining and cold.
But yeah, this webinar should be a fun one today. I don't know if any of you are on that have seen previous ones that Jess and I have done. This should definitely be a fun one. So excited about this.
Yeah, we like a bit of banter. We like to make it fun. We also like to make the session as interactive as possible. So if anyone's got any questions or wants to know a little bit more about any like features that we go into, we have a Q&A at the end of the session. So feel free to let us know. Definitely have a bit of interaction in the chat there. But no, it should be a good one. I'm excited for today.
Yeah. Apparently the feedback was not you, Jess. So that's good news. So we're good.
After the last webinar, if anyone was on that one, they'll have probably seen that I had some technical difficulties on that one. So wouldn't make me surprised if it was me.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking we give it maybe just like 1 more minute, let anyone else, because people might be hopping off from other meetings, let a few people join, and then we can get this show on the road.
Yeah, we'll definitely obviously open it up for questions at the end as well. But as Jess mentioned, if you have any questions, definitely throw them in the chat and we'll try to answer them as we get to them. So we also have some people here. We also have some people on the line that will throw out some links every now and then, maybe answer some type questions as well. So got a lot of support today.
Fantastic. And yeah, if anyone's got any questions after the webinar or they want to know a little bit more, our live chat's always open as well on the website. So feel free to reach out through that and we can always assist you. But yeah, I'm thinking, Bobby, it's like 2 minutes past 3. Shall we get this show on the road?
I think we should. Let's do it.
Fantastic. So yeah, let's get started. So firstly, best place to get started is what is the agenda for today's webinar? What are we going to be discussing and what are we going to be walking through? Now, you probably guessed when you've signed up that the majority of this webinar is going to be us looking at the course content library. We're going to be going through what is the course content library, especially for any new people here that might have only just joined the platform. We're going to look a little bit in depth at the courses available, how we can start to edit these courses. Spoiler alert, this is a free resource that you have access to. So we'll look a little bit more in depth at that. We're also then going to have a look at a few of the features. So achievements and custom achievements. Now that we've got these courses that we want to share with our team, how can we use achievements to boost engagement and help encourage certain kind of ways about working for our learners and start to reward them for that. We're also then going to look at rapid refresh, so our method of being able to easily share and deploy quizzes. And then, yeah, a bit of trading your training discussion. If you've been on past webinars, you'll know we love to chat about trading your training. And then my lovely co-host here, Bobby, is going to actually show us a live demo. So we're going to take a walk through of looking at the course content library, bringing that into our account and starting to bring some of these features that we've discussed into play and into action to share with our teams. So yeah, best place to start then. What is the content library? I've given the spoiler alert that this is a free resource. What's going to make it better? These courses are editable. So this is a resource that you can tap into for your business or to share with your team. And there's a range of different subject matter, whether this be for hospitality businesses, if you're working in construction or you work in HR and you're looking for more serious topics, maybe like sexual harassment training or unconscious bias, anything like that. There's a range of different resources in here. And what makes it better as well is that we've now got over 800 courses. So we've been building out this resource, taking feedback directly from our customers to see what they want to know about next, and then being able to share this with our audience. And we're going to have a look at some of the different topics. But yeah, a fantastic resource for if you're sharing it with your team, or even if you're just wanting a little bit of inspiration for creating your own content. I feel like there's another thing that I haven't really mentioned is the fact that, yeah, these are free, they're editable, but you can also brand them for your audience and for your team. If you've got a small business, you can add in your logo, your company colors. So you can really take this resource and start to make it your own. And that's what we're going to show you in the live walkthrough, how we can start to have this content and make these changes to have it for our business that me and Bobby don't own, but we've it seems like from creating a logo and such, we're starting to build our own business, which we can showcase today.
It feels real to us.
I feel like this will be a bit more apparent and fun when we get to the point where we can tell the attendees what our fake business is. But I feel like it's definitely kind of nail on the head for both of us. A pipe dream perhaps for the future. So yeah, we're going to be exploring the content library and sharing these courses. And what's fantastic about these courses as well, no matter the device you're going to share these to, you only really have to create them once, add them to your account once, and they can be available on mobile, tablet, desktop for your learners. They can access them on the go. Your learners as well, if they're accessing it on mobile and tablet, can actually download these to their devices. So say, for example, you've got a team member who usually does their training on the bus, but the connection's not so reliable. They can download that content while they're at work and still access that while they're on their commute home. So we're giving that flexibility for your learners as well, to be able to kind of take control of their personal development and upskilling within your business. Yeah. I've talked about a little bit about sharing these courses from the content library, and I've mentioned that we're going to look into achievements because these are the ultimate way for being able to reward your learners for completing certain interactions and kind of taking part in certain behaviours. Now, achievements, they're available for all our learners, no matter whether you're on the free plan. You can use our preset achievements that reward behaviours. If you're actually one of our pro members, we have custom achievements. So you can actually start to look at creating achievements which are more on brand for your business. You can design them, you can set the criteria. If I have learners that I'm wanting to reward for logging in multiple times in the week, I can create an achievement for that. If I'm wanting to reward learners for going that extra mile and taking charge and doing more training, we can reward them for that. And they can keep these on their account. And it's just a fantastic way for just easily rewarding your team for going about that set of behaviours that you're wanting from them and striving for that extra mile. So yeah, we'll be looking in depth in that as well in the live demo. And then yeah, one of my favourite features, I always like to mention this on demo, is rapid refresh. So this is a fantastic resource that can sit alongside your courses from the library. And this is just an easy way of being able to create and deploy quizzes for the team. Now, this could be anything about like refresher topics. It could be quizzing the learners on perhaps certain targets and achievements and strides the business has made. You've got that flexibility there. It's as easy as filling an Excel document with your multiple choice questions, uploading it into Editable. Editable will do the heavy work. And you can just set the cadence of when you want this quiz to go out. And then your learners are going to get a great push notification telling them that quiz is available. And yeah, this could be work related. It could be refresher topics following some new training that's gone out, perhaps maybe a live session that you've held. Or it could be something fun. We're getting into Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You can have a bit of fun with this and just send out some quizzes to keep your learners engaged from within the platform. And again, striving to go that extra mile. And what can be quite fun, you're seeing in our screenshot here, is the ability to be able to have a leaderboard as well. So incentivize a bit of healthy competition amongst the teams and have them strive for more and have a bit of competition amongst themselves. But yeah, let's talk about trading your training. I've mentioned for so many of our attendees that might have come to our previous webinars that trading your training is a really fantastic resource for any businesses that can sit along content from the library. And you can actually take training that you've got existing, whether it be PowerPoints, PDFs, and we'll have our designers recreate them in Editable for you. And this is fantastic for having a slight shortcut, whether it be shortcut in the content creation process. Let our designers do the work while you're getting to terms with exploring the platform at your own pace. And use this then to be able to create further content. If you're doing internal testing and you're wanting to explore the platform and you're thinking, how can I get the managerial team to explore the platform and enjoy it as much as I am? Well, let's get that training you've already got. Let's get it created within Editable, and you can share it. Add in a few survey slides as well. Get that feedback directly from your team and your learners. And yes, it's as simple as going to editable.com/trade in your training. I know that Bobby's put a handy link in the chat as well for anyone. You can upload your training. You'll get contact from probably myself, Bobby, or the team just to get to know a little bit more about the content, and then we can pass it over to our designers. It's going to be a fantastic blend of your branding, your content, and the Editable magic. So it'd be an informative, interactive, engaging, and even better, fun. So yeah, if you've got any questions about any of these features we've mentioned, like Bobby had said before, we're going to have a Q&A at the end of the session. But what we're keen to do now is actually show you these features. So let's have a look at the content library. Let's look at achievements, rapid refresh. And with that, Bobby, I'm going to hand over to you.
Great. All right. Let me just share my screen now. Awesome. So yeah, so as Jess mentioned, I'm going to do a little bit of a demo here. But before I get into that, I wanted to just present a demo use case for you. And when Jess and I were preparing for this webinar, we pretty much came up with the idea that we were going to run our own business. And that business is going to be a taco restaurant. So we're going to pretend that we are a restaurant called J&B Tacos. So throughout this demo, you know, you'll see some logos, you'll see some things based in the hospitality, but I just want to make clear that, you know, Editable can be used in many different industries, and you'll see that, you know, once I start loading up the content library here. All right, great. So where I'm at right now is I'm in the admin portal. So when you sign up for an Editable account, for those of you that do not have an account, if you just go to our website, editable.com, there's a big sign up free button in the top right-hand corner of the website. So if you go through that process, you'll fill out a quick form. And then once you do that, you'll be prompted to come to this website. So I'm on the courseware courses page here. And I'm in our webinar account here. And when you open up an account, you'll look pretty similar to this, where there won't be many courses in your account. And there are a couple ways that you could get content into your account, but we want to focus on the content library here. So if I click on this blue Browse Content Library button, this is where you can access those 800 courses for absolutely free, which is awesome. So you'll see here on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of different categories here. You can also search for certain keywords as well. So if you were searching for a certain topic, all of our courses here are tagged. So odds are you're going to find something that you're looking for. But for right now, again, we're going to pretend that we are a taco restaurant. So if we were actually that business, we would probably be looking in the food and hospitality section here. So if I click on this section here, you'll see that we have 35 courses in this area, and they're all for, you know, a wide variety of topics. You'll see here that there are a ton of different courses that we have here. But again, as Jess mentioned before, what's nice is that as long as the course is not sponsored, if it has this white contact card, you can fully edit and brand these courses, which is great. But yeah, say for instance, serving food was one that we were interested in, which I feel like we would if we were about to open up a restaurant. You can come in here and preview, and preview the course to see what it looks like before you even import it, right? And what's nice too in this preview, you can see what it looks like on a mobile device, a tablet, and a desktop computer. So Editable is a microlearning platform for those of you that aren't too familiar with our platform, but our learners can take the content on tablet and desktop as well. But again, what's nice about this preview is you can toggle through the slides as if you were learning yourself, or you can just go through the slides just by toggling through these arrows here. You can also just toggle through the different lessons here to see what they look like as well. So let's say that we checked out this course, it looks pretty good. We can add this to our selection to be imported into our account. So scrolling on down here, kitchen operations is probably another good one. Again, you can just click on the preview here. And in this course, there's actually a quiz. So again, this could be a good one here. But just something to keep in mind is that, again, you can fully edit and brand these courses. So let me add this to our selection. Again, you can import more than 2 courses, but for now, let's say these are the courses we want to import. So I'll just click this import courses button right here. And you'll see that these 2 courses are now in my account here. So if I hover over a course here and click edit, this is where we can get into some of the editing portion here, right? So pretty much what you see here on this screen is all of the lessons that are inside of this course. So there are 5 lessons inside of this course. Up here is the title, the course title, and the course description. So, say if we wanted to change this to, say, serving food at J&B Tacos, you can do that to make it a little more personable to your audience, which is really nice. And again, you can also change the description as well. Cool. Before I get into editing anything else, I just wanted to briefly mention the branding tab that we have here. So if I click on the branding tab, you'll see here there are a couple of elements that we can upload that would take effect, in this case, to all lessons inside of this course, because we're on the course level. So you could change the course image, which is what they would see in the Learners app, the lesson backgrounds, or upload a logo. So what's nice is that, say you had a logo that you already had in your computer. If I go to upload an image here and we'll upload the logo of our restaurant here. Once it saves, we'll navigate back to the lessons icon here, and you'll be able to see that it's going to show up now in the top left-hand corner of all of these lessons. So if I click on a lesson here, here's my logo. So as the learners progress through, they'll be able to see this logo throughout the whole entire lesson, which is awesome. If I go back to the course level here, and I just want to touch on a couple more branding elements too. It is possible to input some custom CSS to pull in some custom fonts and colors as well. We have some guides in our support website, so I don't want to get too much into it, but I just wanted to mention that that's an option as well. Cool. You see the design on Canva button here. I'm going to get into that as well, but you'll see that, if you didn't have a lesson background, you can click on this design on Canva button and pull images free from Canva's stock image website here. And you can search for different backgrounds and images as well.
One thing I want to mention while we're discussing branding as well, I'd mentioned briefly trading your training. What some people think is when we do trading your training, it's just us recreating these courses. A really fantastic thing that the designers do is they're also going to create custom branding for your content. So although we've got really easy ways of being able to brand our content through the use of those different options that Bobby just mentioned, our designers, being the experts, take it to the next level. So they can create some custom CSS to add into there, which, I mean, I know very limited about custom CSS, but I know to do a few bits, but they can take it up a notch, which is great. So if you've got specific company colors, brand colors that you want within there, a certain look and feel to your website, the designers can look at your website and start to kind of recreate elements of that within your training. So it's going to be a really on-brand feel for your business. And you could easily take that branding then and add it to some library content. So just wanted to add that in there, a little snippet.
No, great. No, awesome insight, Jess. Thank you. But yeah, now I just kind of want to get into our authoring tool pretty briefly. I'm not going to go too far in depth with it, but if I click on a lesson here, you'll see here that I can change the name of the lesson and the description here as well, right? And before I get into editing anything, we do have another preview here that you can see what it looks like, and you can change the different device types as well. But where I want to go is I want to follow the blue buttons here and go to edit lesson content, and this opens up our authoring tool. Now, we have webinars just on the authoring tool. We have videos on our YouTube channel, so I'm not going to get too far in depth with it, but I do want to show you some quick tips and tricks that if you do import a course from our library, if you need to do a couple of quick edits, it really doesn't take much time. So for example, let's say that, we wanted to change this image because, we're opening up a taco shop. So this might be, not the right image for us. If I hover over this section here and click design on Canva, you'll see here that, we can choose an image from Canva. So let's say if you wanted to search tacos and see what they had here, you can come here and any image that's free, you can import into your account for free. Canva also does have pro images as well. So you'd have to have a paid Canva account, but if you do, you can access even more imagery, which is nice. But in this case, let's say this picture looks pretty good here. Once you click on that, it's now in here. If I right click and click set image background, you can set background. And if I double click on it, we can move this up a little bit to make sure we get maximum tacos in the picture here. So once I do that and I hit publish here, you'll see that it'll upload now and it is set to cover the entire screen. So here's my beautiful picture of tacos. And again, what's nice is that you can change the image position to, if you didn't want it to cover the entire screen, you can change it to be at the top, middle, or bottom. And again, here in the caption, you can do some customization as well in this editing pane. So, say if we wanted to say, venue layout and sequence of service at J&B Tacos. To make it a little more personable, you can do that. And again, what's nice about these sections too is you'll see up here, we can bold, italicize, or change the size of some text. We can move sections up or down. We can duplicate sections, delete sections. We can even change some of these sections to be just text if you wanted to. So these slide templates really give you a good way to customize anything that you have here. Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to explain the authoring tool a little bit in detail here. So when you do open up the authoring tool, the default device that you're going to have here is the iPhone X. But if you click this drop down, you can change it to other different device types, right? So say if you want to see what it look like on a Galaxy device, maybe a Google Pixel. You can also put in custom dimensions if I scroll all the way down here. Again, it's really nice. And what's nice about Editable is that it's going to automatically optimize to whatever device your audience is using. So you as an author aren't going to have to worry about things, maybe looking a little funky depending on certain devices, which is a good relief for sure. All right, cool. One thing that I wanted to mention, one other thing I wanted to mention here is that on the right-hand side, this is going to be the order of your slides. So you'll see here that we have a bunch of these different titles. We have image slider, image collection, missing word. So these are some of the slide templates that we have to offer. So if you wanted to add in a slide, that was specific about your company or something like that, what you can do here is come here and click add a new slide. And this opens up our template library of over 85 different templates for you to choose from. So I'll just briefly go through all of the categories here. So in the content section here, if you need to convey text, imagery, or video, this would be the section that you want to live in. Any slide that has a picture of a phone, tablet, or a computer on it is an image-based slide. But again, you could change some of those images over to text fields if you wanted to. And again, in here, you can also put in video. So if you had a video on your computer, or if you wanted to pull videos from YouTube or Vimeo, we have slides specifically for those use cases.
Coming on down here. Anyone wants to get a bit fun with it, you could add in a GIF or an animation as well. I feel like J&B Tacos, we're going on the fun thing. We'll throw a few GIFs in there, a couple of dancing tacos.
You could, yeah. I mean, you could even see some courses in our content library have some GIFs now as well, and as the cover contact card. Do you have any questions, Jess? Anything going on yet?
But like we said at the start of the webinar, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to send them over. We'll have a Q&A portion at the end as well. We just got a question then from Peter. Thank you for sending one over. Can we add videos? So the answer is yes, we can embed videos directly within the content. Or say, for example, you're wanting to use resources which are on YouTube or Vimeo. We've got a template which allows you to stream those videos in as well. So no matter your videos, you can add them in. Even if it was a YouTube video that you were just wanting to show a small portion of, you can also set the times as well. So you don't have to have the full video. If it's just a small section, you can set that. But it is always a really nice resource to be able to add into your training. Exactly.
And if you had a video on your actual computer, we do recommend that the file size be pretty small. We do have some guides on our support website. But again, just to fit with the microlearning philosophy, most of these lessons are supposed to be completed within 5 to 10 minutes. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be uploading, your videos straight into the platform. Cool. Coming on down here, from concepts down through games here are interactive slides. So these are the slides where your audience would actually get a score on. They would have to submit a response, and there is a correct or incorrect answer. So in concepts, this one's all about construction and deconstruction. We have a ton of multiple choice type slides here. Circle the answer is a pretty fun one here. We have the chat one, which kind of, feels like someone's talking to you, which is nice. Say you wanted to create a quiz and just have multiple choice questions, you could just choose different templates and it will feel nice and fresh to the learner. We got a bunch of number type slides here. Relationships are fun. So we have drag to match with images. We have connect, in this case, connecting definitions to terms where they actually have to click and drag lines in between them. And then we got a bunch of fun games here. So, we have find a word. We have Jeopardy with true or false questions. We have a memory game, which is pretty popular. And then we actually have a time true or false game where, if you want to make your audience sweat a little bit, you can keep the timer on, but you can always disable the timer if you want to. And then the last section here is the survey section. So this can actually be pretty useful. We have 4 different ones here to choose from, but the free text is probably our most popular. So, let's say, if we wanted to add in a survey slide at the end of this lesson, so say, you edit in the slides you wanted to, you did your quick edits. If I just click on this template here, it will submit it into my lesson. So I'm going to want to drag this down and put this at the end of my lesson right before the exit slide. Cool. So, let's say in our case, I'm going to want to say, how does this lesson compare to our previous methods of training? Jess, as I type this out, could you think of any other, use cases for using the survey slide?
Yeah, you've got me. I was going to hop in and give another one. A really creative way I've seen this survey templates being used is we've had people add a survey template at the start of the training, perhaps in the introduction lesson, saying how confident are you feeling on this subject on a scale of 1 to 10, and they can actually have a scale there to select. And at the end of the lesson or the course, you can ask that question again. How confident are you feeling now? And then you can start to look at those answers within the analytics. Another great one as well. So we've got here, like, how does this compare to previous methods of training? You could be asking for feedback on more general company related things. Are you looking for additional support? What can we offer as a business to help you upskill and develop? It's a really nice way of being able to get feedback directly from your team or your users whilst they're in the learning experience and whilst it's kind of at the forefront of their mind.
Yeah,
no, get
absolutely.
creative with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and what's nice too is you can also set a minimum response length on this, right? So, if I was a learner and, I were to type in here, you'll see up here that this is the minimum response length. So if I wanted to type in my response, I can just type it in, hit OK, I'm done, and then move on to the next slide, which is really nice. And then as Jess mentioned, you would be able to see all those survey responses in the analytics here under the feedback section. Awesome. So again, pretty brief overview of the authoring tool, but again, we do have many videos and webinars on this. So if you have any questions, you can refer to that. We also do have one-to-many onboarding sessions where we review the authoring tool in detail, and it's in this style where you can ask questions live as well. So we'll make sure to mention that again before the end of the call. Awesome. So now that our course is pretty much done, if I come back to the courses page here in the breadcrumbs, you'll see here that in the title on the cover card, this course is in draft mode. So in that if a course is in draft, any learners in your account won't be able to see it. So say if this course is ready to go, you would just come here and click this button here, and now it's published. So what this means is that it means that anyone in your account could see this potentially if it's universally accessible. Or if you were on a paid plan and had user groups, you could segment this course to different groups if you didn't want to show it to every user in your account. Awesome. So as Jess promised at the top of the call, there were a couple other features that we did want to show you as well. One of them was being rapid refresh. So you'll see here that we have a separate tab on this courseware page called rapid refresh quizzes. And what these are quick quizzes where you download a template that we provide for you. They're all multiple choice questions, but you would just pop in your questions, the answers that you want them to select, and the correct answers. You also have required follow-up text as well. I'm not going to create one from scratch here, but I am going to click on one that we already have in progress right here. So this is an example of one that we have here. And you'll see here that we can add our logo, and you can even change the background as well here, which is nice. So, once you pop in all of your questions and answers into the template, you'll upload it into our system. And what's nice is that you can also change the frequency. So in this case, this quiz is just one session where there's all 15 questions delivered at once. what you could potentially do is, say if you wanted to break this up and have 3 sessions and have it weekly. So in that case, there would be 5 questions per week for 3 weeks. You can do that using Rapid Refresh, and it will just go in the order that you have in the spreadsheet. But yeah, so I just want to show you this preview here. So again, you would just upload all of this via the CSV sheet. And then here is the answer text that would follow up after they submit their response. So they would just go through all of these here. And then when they're done, they could see pretty much a screen that has all of the answers that they submitted. They'll show them which ones were the correct answers, which were incorrect, and the ones that they got incorrect, they will show them which were the right answers. And as Justin mentioned before at the top of the call, you can also enable a leaderboard so they can see how they stack up amongst their peers as well. One thing I wanted to mention too that is a pretty new feature. So for those of you that have deployed rapid refreshes in the past, we just added this feature where you can allow learners to retry incorrect questions. So say if I took a rapid refresh quiz today and got a couple questions wrong, on the next day, it'll automatically deploy those answers those questions that I got incorrect. So again, it's a really nice way to help reinforce those answers or those questions that I got incorrect the first time through. But yeah, I mean, if I click on the settings here, you can make this universally accessible. You can also set prerequisites on this as well. So this won't unlock until some certain users complete certain courseware. And if I come to the branding tab, this is where you can upload your logo or change the background or even enable some custom CSS. Cool. Jess, did you have anything to add there?
Here, Bob. I was just going to say, we've got it synced up now. You know when I'm going to mention something. I just wanted to mention Rapid Refresh. No matter the plan you're on, whether it be free or you're on one of our pro plans, it's a fantastic tool for any business who's wanting to look at building a culture of learning and development, because this is something that's just going to be an extra kind of intrigue to your learners that can sit alongside their training. And I'd mentioned at the start, you can use this to be work-related development. You could have some fun with it. But yeah, just a really fantastic resource. I know that Rapid Refresh is, for a lot of us in the EdApp team, one of our favourite features to be able to recommend to you, to our customers.
Absolutely. And we do have a reports tab here too that will bring you to our Rapid Refresh reports. So we have a separate report just for Rapid Refresh, where you can see individual question responses as well, which is really useful. Cool. Awesome. All right, I was just checking for questions. Looks like we're okay here. So again, that's Rapid Refresh in a nutshell. We do have a webinar just on Rapid Refresh as well that's posted on YouTube. So if you're looking for more insight or exactly how to upload this or some other things, you could definitely search YouTube and search our YouTube channel for Rapid Refresh, and the webinar will pop up. Cool. All right, let me navigate back to the courseware page for now. And the other thing that Jess had promised we would cover here is achievements. So achievements are a great way, just to help, help the engagement amongst your learners here. So I'll click on the Engage tab and click on Achievements. And I believe Justin mentioned this before, but we do have stock achievements that we create in EdApp ourselves. If I scroll down from beginner down to the bottom here, these are going to be stock achievements no matter what plan you're on, okay? But if you are on a paid plan, you can create your own custom achievements, which again, could be really nice and help drive completion rates amongst your learners. So you'll see here that, you can have, we'll take this kitchen safety master one, for example. So say if they score 100% on all of these, kitchen safety type courses, they can get an achievement. You can also combine and create custom recipes. So here, completing a course and getting 100% on a course, you can combine those two elements there into one recipe. You can also, more achievements just for logging into the app or completing a certain number of courses, or again, maybe earning some stars. So this could be a really powerful way to help drive the engagement amongst your learners. And you can see too, so if I click on one of these, you can see who were the achievers of here. So you'll see here that we have a bunch of achievers of this goal kicker achievement here. And this one was just completing one course. So again, you can make it more simple, but you can also make some that are, more hard to get, which is nice. So if you have some, pros that, always want to complete courses and always want to get 100% on every course that they take, this is a great way to, see who those achievers are. And then again, you can, give them some praise, give them a pat on the back for completing these courses. Cool. But yeah, again, that's pretty much our achievements feature in a nutshell. If you wanted to see how to create an achievement, we also do have a separate webinar just on achievements as well. So again, if you search our YouTube channel, you can access that webinar. And again, we have access, we have resources on our support website too to help you along all of these features. So, if you wanted to set one of these up from scratch, if you just go to our support website, which is support.edapp.com, you could just search for certain terms, and there's really a ton of helpful support articles on there. One thing that I wanted to mention too is we also have a live chat down here. So this little icon down here in the bottom right hand corner of my screen is the live chat. So you can just come in here and you can ask some questions. It's staffed during the week by real people, not bots. People usually get a chuckle when I say that. So you're going to be talking to real people, and they'll definitely be able to help you with any questions that you have or any troubleshooting issues. Yeah, before I navigate away from achievements, Jess, anything else you'd like to add there?
No, I think you got everything we really wanted to highlight about achievements.
Cool.
And yeah, just to reiterate again, you've got access to achievements no matter your plan. It's just that if you were on our pro plan, you kind of get that extra step of being able to customize your achievements and really set what the criteria is for these goals for your learners and your teams.
Right. Say So there was one more thing that I wanted to show you. If I click on the users tab and click invite users, I want to show you how, say you imported some courses from a library, you did some quick edits, threw on your logo, you published some courseware. Now it's time to invite some users to take these courses. So there's a couple different ways that you could do that. So, if you had everyone's email, you could just, add a bunch of emails in here. They will be learners by default. You can also give someone admin access, which would give them access to this admin side as well. You can edit the subject line here. So, let's say if you want to say J&B tacos for this, we can do that. And then the body of the email is just going to give them their login credentials. It'll give them links to our mobile apps as well as our web app, the desktop experience. You can also do this in bulk as well. So if you have a good number of employees that you wanted to onboard, you can just download their template, fill out a couple of columns, and then you can just import it back in. And then here is where you can send them an invitation email, and again, customize the subject line. There is another way that is pretty cool too. So we have this invite by link here. We can also download a QR code and send this out to people. But if I copy this and paste this, I'll just paste this in my browser here. You can pretty much will lead them to a custom registration page that you can customize. So again, here's our logo that we uploaded. Looks pretty good, Jess, actually, on this one. Here they would just have to enter in their email, their password, and then you can have some custom fields down here that you can also have them fill out upon registration. So if you wanted them to put in their first name and last name, or even create a custom field such as store name. So let's say that Jess and my taco business has taken off, and we're going to open a couple of locations.
We've got
they can put in their store
we've got a
name
Manchester. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, and then pretty much what happened is once they click register my account, they would be able to see any published courses that are universally accessible in your account. Again, or if there were some user groups that they were assigned to, they might be able to see some courses and not others. But yeah, it looks like we do have another question here.
We've got a few. Brandon. People have been sending them in ready.
Okay, cool. Jess, you want to triage those for me?
Of course. So the first one we want to cover is from Reese, and it says, how does the trainer retrieve the answers from the questions/surveys?
Sure. So for surveys, you would just come here to analytics and click on surveys here. I'm not sure if we have any responses in this account, but you'll see here, these are all of my courses and lessons that have those survey slides. So you would just come here to click view responses, and then here are all of the survey questions that you have. So if there were responses here, you would be able to see responses in each one of these sections for each one of these survey slides. And then you can export all of this via CSV, which is also nice. So this is how you would access those surveys. If I come back to analytics here, for rapid refresh, there's its own separate rapid refresh report here. And then again, we have a plethora of reports here. Most of them are available on the free plan. The performance dashboard and course completion by user are available to all of our customers. And in my opinion, those are our most powerful reports. So for the course completion by user report, you can quickly see in a chart, who's completed which courses. And there's also a status filter where you can just filter by complete or incomplete. And then the performance dashboard gives you a lot of really good insights. You can drill down pretty deeply. It also gives you some pretty high level analytics as well. And it also has some pretty nice charts as well too. And you can export most of these reports into Excel, CSV, or some other formats as well.
Great. We've got a couple more questions. So we've got one here saying, can you create a custom landing page for single sign-on?
Yeah, so it is possible to have your users log in through single sign-on. You would have to set up a business ID and some other settings, but yeah, let me just come to the web app here. So if I come to the web app, this is where the learners would sign in, and it would look very similar on mobile as well. It's pretty much the same screen. So they would click sign in and then click single sign on, and then they would have to enter in a business ID here the first time. And then once they do, it'll bring them to your company's custom landing page.
What you can also do, even if you're not utilizing single sign-on, all of our users can utilize custom splash screens. And I feel like sometimes this is always a nice one to be able to highlight and mention because some users may not have seen it. With the custom splash screens, you can add your logo, you can choose a custom image, and this is going to be the first thing that welcomes your learners when they enter the learning platform. So we can see J&B Tacos, we've got our fantastic looking splash screen. And again, this can be utilized no matter whether you're on the free plan, you're on a paid plan, but it's a nice little welcome to your learners when they come into the platform to start their training.
Absolutely. Yeah, good idea, yes. And how to get here is if I click on this little drop down arrow and go to app settings, there's a content section. So if I scroll all the way down, this is where you can enable this and access this. And as just mentioned, pretty much every time they load the app up, this screen will pop up, and you can also change the background image as well. Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like one other feature I want to mention just off the back of this, because I feel like sometimes these can kind of go hand in hand. So with the custom splash screen, I always recommend as well utilizing the banners feature. What the banners do is they sit above the learning content within the learner portal. And these are a really fantastic way of being able to communicate directly with your team. Now, this could be about new courseware content that's coming soon. It could be just simply showing your logo and showing your brand off to brand the experience a bit more, or even just about new incentives or product launches or anything like that. And what's quite handy about this as well is you can set this for individual user groups. A great example being, imagine if we were launching a new menu at the Manchester location of J&B Tacos. I could make sure that that is communicated in a banner to our learners solely for the users that that's relevant to. So that would be our Manchester team. Bobby, we're slowly making a business plan here. Like, within a webinar, this is great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can also have multiple banners too. So if you want to have like 3 of them, you can just, have them scroll through it at the top.
Yeah, definitely. So really fantastic resource to be able to utilize. Now we've got another question here from Richard, which is asking that his company already uses an external platform system, and they're wanting to know about the completions of that training and quizzes can be linked or imported to this system. What I'd probably say to that is that would, Bobby, please correct me if I'm wrong, require an API, and that would need a little bit more further information. We want to know a little bit more about the platform. What I'd probably recommend for that is to reach out to a member of the team so we can actually start to have a look at the platform you're wanting to integrate with and what options we've got and what information can be pulled. But yeah, reach out to the team and we'll be able to have a look at that for you.
Yeah, I mean, we can also import SCORM files, so you can just use that app and not the other system anymore. So just wanted to throw that out there.
I've got a fun one here, and I'll take this one. Peter's asking City or United. So I live in Manchester. If anyone's not aware with football or soccer for any of you in the States, there's 2 rival teams within Manchester. And to that question, Peter, I say neither. I'm a Leeds United fan because that's where I'm from originally. But that's good to know. One. I like that. That's nice. Yeah, that's it. Brilliant. We have got another question here as well from Stanisha asking, can we archive courses? So to give an example, for example, if we publish an attendance course that changes next year, we would have records of this previous course content and analytics, but also records of the new course content and analytics. Do you want to take that one, Bobby?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So we're actually in the future going to be coming out with a feature where if you have annual training, you just automatically enroll them. But for now, like let's say if let's say they're serving food at J&B Tacos, one was annual training we wanted for them to complete. What you can do is you can just click on this 3 dots and then click duplicate. And then what I would just do for right now is you can just make a copy of this course and we'll say 2022, right? So now if I go back to my courses page here, so now this would be, oops, I forgot to change. I forgot to have this saved. 1 second here. So now pretty much what you would do is you would then put the old one in draft mode and then publish the new version when 2022 was coming out, for example. So once this saves, you'll see that this will be the new title of this course here. Yep. So pretty much what you could do is you can put this course in draft mode and then publish this course. We are also working on coming out with an archive system too, because what happens is if you put this in draft mode, it will disappear from analytics. And I think this is going to come out sometime next year. Don't hold me to dates or anything like that, but you'll be able to archive a published course, which will take it away from the Learners app, but you would still be able to see the analytics in all of our reporting. But again, for right now, this is probably the best way to do it. You would just create a duplicate copy of this course, put this one in draft, and then publish this one. Do you have anything to add there, Jess? Is that what you would recommend also?
Yeah, I'd recommend that definitely. Cool. I also just want to highlight something that maybe some users never see that often, and I know I talk about it quite often. It's just the duplicating courses option. I think that can just be a really fantastic resource, especially if you might have content, perhaps say you have different locations and you want to say, for example, we've got our 2 locations of J&B Tacos and we want to make it a little bit more relevant to our audiences. You could duplicate that course, make those edits, and it's just a really nice way of being able to cut some time when creating courses. But again, these are all like little tips and tricks that you can pick up from watching the webinars and even just playing around and exploring. That's a lot of the time the best way to learn about EdApp is just to play about with it, have some fun. Always fantastic. But yeah, I think we've answered the questions that we've been provided. If anyone else has any other questions they want to get in before we end this week's webinar, send them in now. Even if it's just a fun one, asking when J&B Tacos is opening in a city or town near you. The best tacos you'll ever have. But no, I think we'll give it a couple of seconds, but I think that's us wrapping it up for this week, Bobby.
Yeah. I'll put in the chat some support resources. Support.edapp.com again is our support website where you can search certain things. I'll even put in our YouTube channel too before we end, because I know I mentioned that a couple times. A lot of good content on there, which is great. And then you might even see me and Jess again on there if you're going to be perusing some of the content on there.
Yeah, I think a few more things and a few more resources just to mention as well before we wrap up. And it's also an answer to a question that we've just got from Art. All of our webinars that we host, we post our recordings on YouTube. So if you maybe missed a bit of this webinar or you're wanting to share it with your team, you can find the YouTube a link on there shortly. This recording will go up soon. And we also have recordings of our previous webinars, can't speak now, and also other helpful videos about going through different processes and different tips with features. We've mentioned briefly, and I posted within the chat about our fortnightly onboarding sessions. These are free for anyone to register. We have them fortnightly. There's one around authoring content, so where we can take a bit of a deeper dive into how to start creating content. We have a second then around user and content management, because great, you've completed this courseware. How do we go about sharing this with our team? And then we have a third and final one around engagement features and analytics. And each of these sessions start to look a bit deeper into these different areas, and definitely a resource to make the most of. That can be really handy, especially whilst you're still learning about the platform, or you're actually going through the process of launching your content to your teams. Just thinking, any more resources to mention, Bobby? Another one to mention as well, actually, just on the same kind of premise as the onboarding sessions. If you're creating content or got someone in your team creating content for you, definitely make the most of our drop-in sessions with our designers. There's multiple hosted throughout the week, and you can register for them, and it's a really great chance to ask questions directly to the experts.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely would recommend that for sure.
100%.
And yeah, if anyone that's on the call today needs or is looking for a more personalized demo, you can reach out to hello@edapp.com, or I'll put some emails of some people that work for Edapp here in the chat as well, where you can just email them if you wanted to have a quick one-on-one demo, or if we had some additional questions you wanted to ask, we'd be happy to meet with you.
Right. Well, yeah, we will share all that info with everyone, but we hope you all enjoyed the webinar. We hope you're all hungry now for tacos. Hope everyone has tacos for dinner or lunch, depending on where you are. And then, yeah, stay posted in a couple of weeks for our next webinar. I'm sure you'll see me and Bobby's face again.
I'm sure you will.
I'm trying to figure out whether that's a blessing or a curse for them. But yeah, you'll probably see in the chat now. Yeah, it's always a blessing. We'll bring tacos. But you'll probably see as well, Bobby's starting to put in the chat some of our sales reps' contact details. So if you are a business within the US or EMEA, feel free to reach out to Luke or Jamie if you're a larger enterprise business, or you can also host a smaller demo with either myself or Bobby. And you can book those as well through the Edapp website. But yeah, I look forward to seeing everyone soon and see some great content from everyone. Start utilizing the library and have some fun with it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for everything, Jess. This was great.
No problem, Bobby. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.